Hey guys, Snupy here. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over all the macros that you want for Feral Druid in the War Within. There's new talents like Fluid Form that can easily add quite a few buttons if you don't use the right macro. So stay tuned for that, and also nodes like Mastery and Vortex. Yeah, I'm just going to go over all the macros. Let's dive into it. Starting off, I just want to say that I do use focus macros. I don't do 1 to 3 macros, so I change my focus target and then I press the focus macro, and that is where we're going to get started now before we jump into the brand new macro. So I use focus target macros on a bunch of things: Cyclone, Skull Bash, Moonfire, Maim, Mighty Bash, Hibernate, Entangling Roots, and Wild Charge. We're not going to spend too much time on these as it's quite self-explanatory, but you change your focus target and then you press your macro, for example Roots, Cyclone, or maybe Bash, and it will go on your focus targets. I also have a focus target Skull Bash macro, which is quite nice. It's going to put you in cat form for you and also stop your cast. So I can cast, press this button, and it's going to go cat form and kick for me. That one is super nice to have. But yeah, we're not going to linger too much on this stuff. Again, this pastebin will be linked under the video. You can find all the macros there. You can copy paste them and get them straight into your own game. So I really recommend doing that. And now on to the Mouseover macros. The Mouseover also is just mousing over someone, and that ability is going to go on them. I do this for Rejuve, Regrowth, Swift Mend. I need to delete that. That's not in the game anymore for Feral Druid. Remove Corruption and Thorns. Super nice. It comes in handy, especially in bigger groups. If I want to Thorns a teammate, I can just mouse over the raid frame or the actual character, and it's going to go on them. But yeah. So I do recommend getting it. And these buttons will also still work as the normal heal would if you don't have a Mouseover. So super handy. Then there's probably the most important Mouseover bind, which is this Wild Charge macro. So what this will do is Mouseover jump you to your friends, but it will still function as a normal Wild Charge in every other way. And it also works in mount form if it's on leap. I don't know if I'm just dumb, but I had a trick, or I had trouble getting this macro to work properly. But this functions perfectly. So yeah, again, recommend getting this one big time. One of my favorite macros. I just want to say one thing on this though. It doesn't shapeshift for you. You have to do the shapeshifting yourself. There seems to be some confusion because people ask me or are wondering why it's not shapeshifting them. But yeah, it doesn't do that. Make that clear. And then we have the Rake macro to find people in stealth. It's going to find rogues, druids, hunters, whatever it is. And it also works as a normal Rake at all other times. Super nice to have. Then we have the Incap Roar macro, stop attack. If you play Incap Roar, not really used much, but it is there as an option. Convoke macro, this is basically just convoke and the current season badge. Right now, Forged Aspirant's badge. And you're going to press this. It's going to use both at the same time. I don't have badge equipped right now, but yeah, that is what it will do. There was some issue with Convoke self-canceling. Like if you had a trinket in the macro, but this macro seems to be working just fine. Then we have Shadow Meld and Prowl in the same button. Quite nice. Sometimes if you stealth and someone moves away, if you just meld, it's gonna break your stealth. If you prowl as well, you can move like a little bit and get to them. I find it to be a little bit safer than only shadow melding. But like putting prowl in there, it's gonna should make it easier to land rake stuns with shadow meld. Then we have the cancel bop and freedom. Excuse me. Quite nice in PvP if you get bopped or whatever from a paladin, your teammate. You want to cancel that fast before the mage is going to spell seal it. You can put that in your prowl. And yeah, this is going to be there to press if that situation arises. Okay. Now, guys, with that being said, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes. Really, the most important thing about this video, which is the new Fluid Form macro. Or Fluid Form, a great talent. Shred and Rake can now be used in any form and shift you into cat form. Mangle can be used in any form and shifts you into bear form. These are the things we want to focus on. This means that if I'm in cat form, I press Mangle. It's going to take bear form. It's also going to give me Rage. And if I press mangle or rake in bear form, I'll be in cat form, and that will also give me comb points, as you can see. Now, this can be quite keybind heavy and can cause some issues with the key bindings, but I found a macro that really helps with the whole fluid form situation. And the macro is right here. Again, it's still also in the paste bin. Yeah. What this is going to do is mangle if you're in cat form, rake if you're in bear form, and rake if you're not in a form. All in one button. So yeah, I made a rake from Night Elf. You could also make it mangle from Night Elf, but I find usually rake is the biggest value thing to press here. So I put rake there, and then I have shred bound on 1, normally in cat form. So I put shred on 1 outside of cat form as well, which makes it super easy to remember. If I want to get back in the form of shred, I can just do that instead. I do also recommend getting a cancel form macro. You just have one button where you can cancel any form. You also, for example, do this. Cancel form shred, cancel form shred, cancel form rake, and practically off global shapeshift. I just want to say this too quickly. There's one more very important macro, but one more thing I want to say fast. We're just going to respond to this whisper. One more thing I want to say fast when it comes to power shifting is that you can do it with Fury, Cirque, Dash, Meld, Rake. You can get back in form off global as well. If you mix this in with fluid form, you can actually power shift quite a bit. You see here, Fury, Cirque, Dash, all puts me into cat form off global. You mix this with fluid form, good usage. You can be in and out off global most of the time, really. Now for one more macro, this is the Mastery and Vortex macros, so they're actually on the same choice node now. Super nice that we get one of them always. This macro is nicely puts them both in one button, and yeah, it just works super nicely. So those are the macros. Quick macro guide here. I kind of skimmed through a lot of these because they kind of are self-explanatory. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or come ask me in my stream. I stream almost every day on Twitch. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.